Hey everybody! I am going to be unboxing today the Carbide 3D Nomad 3 desktop CNC mill. So I am upgrading from a SaneSmart 3018, which is kind of the first entry point of CNCs for a lot of people. This was sent courtesy of Carbide 3D, and it's really the kind of next step up in the ability to mill in your desktop or your garage or your office or wherever you might do that. So we're going to unbox this today. We're going to look at some other accessories that Carbide sent me, and we're going to just take a look at every little feature on this guy, and we're going to take it all the way through to building the little parts tray, which is the first project that comes with this. So with me is Pat and Brian from the Butterwhat blog.
Hi everybody. Oh geez, Brian's coming in from the wrong side.
There we go. And these guys are going to help me unbox this thing. So we're going to take this down and then bring the contents back up because
he needs help because it's very heavy.
It's 75 pounds. So
I don't think I can lift that much. I don't even think I can have half as much.
Go down. Oh, okay. And now I'll pop this open. We have a big, somewhat empty feeling box. There's that. It looks like that's called the Nomad accessory kit right here. So this is going to be all the goodies to get this guy up and rolling. And then now, all right, so this is it. This is the Nomad 3 Carbide 3D CNC. This is made 100% in the US, and that is super, super cool. It's actually made in California, and they have a 5-axis mill, and they make this entire thing and then ship it to you so you can mill stuff. It's kind of like millception.
That's fantastic.
Alrighty, so we are going to be right back with an iPad so that we can follow step by step in how to actually unbox this and take off all these zip ties and all that fun stuff. So we will be right back with that. Alright, we're back with instructions, and I have gone on Carbide 3D's website to look up the Nomad guide here. Now, that is probably the most important part of getting your new Nomad 3. So we're going to follow this step by step. So unboxing your Nomad, it says make sure that everything is accounted for, and we should have 2 boxes. One of them has a BitZero in it, which is this guy, and the other one is the accessory kit. So let's see what we have in here. It looks like we have the Carbide 3D BitZero, or BitZero 2.0, and a BitZero sticker right here, which is pretty cool. So we're gonna put all of our stickers over here because I have a feeling we may have some more. And now we have the bit setter with the plug to plug into the side of the CNC. So what this does is it's going to automatically help you set your Z, X, and Y 0 points on your stock. So there's a little corner here, and you can either just set your Z or set all 3. A really nice quality of life deal there. Then we have some cables. It looks like little kind of splitter cable here, and then some probes. Awesome. So this is going to allow us to put this into the machine, and then it will be able to probe on the BitZero. So a cool set of gear there. And now we're moving on to the second box. We have the Carbide 3D welcome kit or accessory kit here. And inside, I was right, we have many more stickers. So we have a cool kind of logo deal here with the BitZero, Nomad 3, Carbide 3D, Nomad 3, Carbide 3D, and Carbide 3D stickers, and a very fancy, almost kind of sparkly looking Nomad 3 sticker there. So we have the what's in this box and how to set up. So step 1, unpack and set up. That's what we're doing now. Step 2, download software. We'll be doing that in a little bit. And now you're ready to start. And on the other side, we in here are supposed to have a power supply. Check. Ooh, this is nice foam. Power supply, USB cable, wasteboard right here, plus hardware to secure the wasteboard. Got it right there. End mills, 2 of them. We have a, I believe these are 1/8 inch flat and ball nose. Double-sided tape, absolutely. Right here we have bamboo, and this is what we're going to make our first project out of. We also have a chip fan, so we can put this on the collet, and then when it spins it'll blow all the chips out from where your work area is. And the collet itself to hold our bits, and then finally a little bit of wren shape, which is like synthetic wood that's easier to machine and pretty nice for little projects. So we do have everything. So what's the next step here? Now we get to tilt the machine onto its back so we can access the undercarriage. All right, there we go.
Do you need help with this, Alex?
Oh. This is definitely a dense boy. Okay.
Well, I can see why you need to access the undercarriage, Alex. Don't run it without taking that off.
I know. We're going to have issues if that happens. All right. Clip the zip ties that are holding the foam padding to the Y-axis rail on the underside of the machine. Be careful not to ding the Y rail. No dinging allowed. All right. Look in here. That wasn't a ding. Oh, don't think that was a ding either. So we're ding free so far. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay. I think that was, that was that. So, sweet. Completed that one. All right. Remove the foam padding and put it in the main box for future transport. Oh,
that is smart, Alex.
That is a good plan. So I'm going to hand this to Brian for future transport. All right, the next step is to return the machine to its upright position and open the acrylic door. Okay, we can do that. Let's just watch Alex strain here. All right. Open the acrylic door. There we go. Remove the foam padding from the X and Z axis. Use caution not to ding the rails while clipping the zip tie. So no dinging here either. Place the foam padding in the main box for future transport. Okay. One in here. This is ding free. Oh, come on. Also ding free here. There we go, future transport. And one more here. All right, X, Y, Z axis is all unpacked. Okay, open the Nomad accessory kit. So we already did that, and we have all the goodies. Open the BitZero box. We already did that. And now it is time to download and install the software. So we'll be right back with a PC with all the software installed once it is connected to the machine. We'll do a screen cap there so you can see everything we're doing. And we're going to get this guy ready to rock and roll. All right, we are back with a laptop here running Carbide Motion. So now we are going to continue on with the guide. So the guide says plug in the cables. Plug the power cable into the bottom connector on the outside of the machine enclosure, the flat side of the power, okay. Plug in the USB and plug in the BitZero with the small black release button facing up. Okay, so BitZero, go right here. Can you
I sure can,
rubber
Mr.
bandy
Alex.
band that? All right, now we got the, ooh, that's a nice USB cable. Okay, I'm gonna plug that right in there. All right, and then the power. You got a big ol' chunky power supply here.
That is a chonkus. Alex, that looks just like the one that goes on my Shapeoko at home.
This one?
I think so.
Do you think they're made by the same company?
I bet they are. I'll bet you $1.
I'd take that bet. All right, we're plugging in the power supply here. And now we're going to plug the machine in. Oh, we need to plug the BitZero in too. It's a fancy little doodad here. Whoa. All right. Plug BitZero in and plug the power in. Good. I gotta refer which way does, okay, to the right. Alrighty.
My right or your right, Alex?
Oh, okay. There we go. Any lights? No lights yet. Okay. Plug in the cables. Was that a noise of?
That was me.
Oh, okay. All right. So the Nomad 3 is controlled by carbide motion. To connect your machine to carbide motion, power up your computer, connect the USB cable, start carbide motion, then press the power switch. All right, here we go. So, got this guy powered up with bit setter and USB cable and power. Here is our USB connector. We're gonna plug that on in. Now we press the power switch. Pat, do you want to awaken the beast over here?
I would love to. Where is this
It's
magical
right
mythical
there.
power switch?
Right on the front.
Oh my goodness.
Whoa.
That was authority.
That was.
Did you hear that?
Really cool.
Oh, the
That
back
is
is
like-
translucent, Alex.
Yeah,
It
that
says
was
Nomad through there.
super neat when you turn that on and it just goes wham. I'm setting you to auto ISO, Pat.
Okay.
Okay. Alrighty. So I forgot that this thing was lit on the inside. It's pretty lit. All right, right here we have a little lit carbide C, and then inside we are fully lit up to look at all the cutting glory that's going to happen in there. All right, now in carbide motion, hit connect to cutter. So we'll click that. All right, it looks like we're connected. This is such good news. Home your Nomad 3. Now that you're connected to your Nomad 3, it's time to home. Homing your CNC is the process of sending it to a known, repeatable location. So we'll keep going. Click the Initialize Machine button. The spindle will then be in the back right corner, and the table will be in front of the machine. All right, we're clicking Initialize. Fantastic. That was really, really cool. All right. Now it says, pro tip, sometimes later on a project you may want to home the machine again. You can enter $H into the text field and hit send if you need to. All right, it is time to install the wasteboard. All right, now that we are rocking and rolling here, I'm going to take the bit setter off the top so I can open up the acrylic front here, and I'm going to install the wasteboard.
Alex, why do we need a wasteboard?
So a wasteboard is pretty important if you want to cut through something. Ideally, it would be your stock, but you don't want to damage the table here. So this table is pretty hard to take on and off and pretty pricey. So we want to use something that's easy to take on and off and is less pricey. So that's why we use a wasteboard or spoil board, some people call it, so that you can drill through another piece of wood, make sure you're all the way through and drill a little bit into this. And yeah, it's just more of a convenience kind of.
That sounds awesome, Alex. That's very handy. Now, Alex, you know what I noticed when you were taking this apart?
What?
This is almost exactly the experience I had with my fully assembled, ready to go Prusa Mark III's.
That's awesome. I've
pre-
never had that experience. This is actually pretty fantastic to take something out of the box and have it
Just work.
just work. All right.
And it's amazing how literally it's exactly the same. You know, just something binding up each of the 3 axes, a couple of zip ties to take off, and some foam, and you're ready to go.
All right. I would say that is wasteboard installed and ready to see what the next step is here. So, it's time to install the collet. So that is the part that holds your end mill. And we're going to put the 1/8 inch probing pin. All right, so the most important point it says in the manual is not to tighten the collet without a tool, because it's a cool little spring jobby, and it can break if you tighten it without a tool in it. All right, so we're going to take the collet and the nut, and we push this in here, and hear that pop, which means we're ready to secure it onto the machine. And we are going to use the 1/8 inch probe right here. It does not say one end over the other, so I'm going to do the flat end down because that makes sense to me. So I'm going to insert this in here, and then nice and tight. Okay. In carbide motion, hit the resume button. The spindle will position above the bit setter automatically.
Where's the bit
Length
setter,
of the
Alex?
probing pin.
Can you point to that for us?
The bit setter is an automatic offset probe here, which measures the length of each tool. It makes it easy to run jobs with multiple tools without needing to stop and re-zero your Z-axis manually. This is super handy. With my 3018, if you forget to re-zero or you're just off, you can have an entire roughing job where you're taking away most of the material finish, and then you go to do your fine job, and it is just ever so slightly too high, and it ruins it, or it really ruins it if it's ever slightly too low. So, okay, so now we are going to hit resume, and there we go. Oh.
There's a switch there.
All right, so as you can see, hitting resume didn't do anything because we did not close our enclosure. So make sure to close your enclosure. Probably says that in the manual. All right, so what is going on next? And we are ready to run the starter project. Congratulations, your Nomad 3 is all set up and ready to run. The Nomad 3 starter project on the Carbide 3D website will walk you through the steps. The tutorial uses the bamboo, and everything you need to know is covered in the tutorial. So we will be right back with the tutorial. All right, so all we had to do was check out the tutorial for the first project, which is a little tool holder. I'm just going to use the provided G-code because I don't really want to set it all up right now in Carbide Create. So we're going to see how their G-code is going to rock and roll for us. We're going to set this in and attach it to this wasteboard here. Then we are going to set our X, Y, and Z using the BitZero. Now this is an automatic probe, so you set it where you would like your corner of your stock, and then you get the bit where we need to with the probe end, and we're gonna let it set its 0. And then we're going to switch tools to the end mill. It will go touch off to figure out its length, and then it should start rocking and rolling for us. Pat, can you check the tutorial to see if I need to do this way or this way? I think it's this way.
Oh, sure. It looks like a square. Uh-oh.
It's not.
Where is the tutorial, Alex?
It's just in the web browser.
It's in a web browser.
All right, so I'm going to open this up. And I'm going to mark a line on here because I don't want to push right to the edge here.
They have it side to... They have it like you have it.
Like this?
Show me the other side. Uh-oh.
So, first I'm going to draw a parallel line here to make sure we can set this in the future exactly parallel.
Alex, do you mean to tell me that we're actually ready to cut? That's all we had to do?
That is all we had to do. We were up and running in, oh man, about an hour. We're ready to rock and roll.
And a lot of that was film time.
Yeah, a lot
So
of
this
that
is much. This will be much faster if I was doing this at home.
correct. This is absolutely true. All right, I've never used this tape before. So
It works great, Alex. You're gonna love it.
So we're gonna get like 3 strips. Is it rippable or do I?
It
need
is
to-
rippable.
Heck yes. All right, so we're gonna put a.
If you're not parallel, you risk your tool running off the side of the board because your part doesn't fit. And
Then press for a couple seconds. There we go. Okay, so now I believe it's time to use the BitZero here. Now if you're just doing Z, you can touch it off just on the top like this. You'll jog this over and tap it, but we're doing X, Y, and Z. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move the spindle right over here, and then it's going to figure out X, Y, and Z and set that all up for us.
how precise do you have to be there, Alex, when you get that?
Say that again?
How precise do you have to be where you put your end mill in this inside that circle?
You don't have to be precise at all. As long as it's in the circle, you're good to go.
We have to close the machine.
We have to close the machine to jog, but that is why they include a safety override in the box for this purpose. Now do not use this when the machine spindle is actually on. That's going to be bad news. There we go, gamepad enabled. So one really cool feature of Carbide Motion is that you can actually use an Xbox gamepad to move things. So if I hit this button, we can see I can move this. So I don't have to be clicking or be next to the computer at all to get this into the right spot.
So, Alex, are you telling me that you don't need me to tell you when you're in the right area now?
Correct. Absolutely.
Because you could stand here right in front of the machine.
Absolutely.
That seems like genius to me.
So we're going to get this guy. Oh. We need a little bit more length there. All right. And then I'm going to move this down.
You're in. You're in the bore.
Okay.
5 by 5.
Try this again. My fear is that it's so light when it goes, it's going to tick it.
It's going to go so slow.
We'll see.
It knows.
You right? Sweet.
I am so jealous right now, Alex.
All right, so now that we did the probing, the machine knows exactly where the corner of our stock is here. And that's very important because if we want it to accurately cut what we want the machine to cut, then it obviously needs to know exactly where this piece is. Now this is very important when you are cutting more valuable materials like aluminum and steel and anything else that you might want to do on here. So what we're going to do now is we are going to change this to our end mill instead of the probe, and then it's going to touch off to get the Z, and then we're going to run our job. All right, so we decided to move to the garage instead of the kitchen, just in case anything goes a little bit crazy. And I've also switched from bamboo to walnut that I got at the local hardwood supplier shop. So it's a nice little piece of walnut. I just kind of wanted to give it a little bit of Alex spin on there. So I've already done all the steps of probing with the BitZero V2 and loading the G code. Now my Z height is a little bit thicker on this piece. It's a 3/4 inch, so it's coming up to about 20 millimeters. So I've changed the last contour cut, which you guys will see, which will round out the edges, to be 20 millimeters deep, but everything else should be the same. So I'm gonna point the camera right at the action here, and hopefully you guys will see a really cool time lapse of this job. All right, now that we have the camera set up, we are going to start the job. All right, so we are finished with the cut, and after you just saw that cool time lapse there, this is what we are looking at right here. So it's the little carbide create tray that can hold your wrenches, all of your end mills, your collets, and your 1/4 inch bits. So it came out really, really nice. I did a little bit of cleanup to help with the kind of deburring of some of the little pieces there, but all in all, awesome first project. Went really, really successfully, and I can't wait to do more stuff with this. Check it out at carbide3d.com.
Don't forget to sync clap, but you have to wait until both cameras are on.
All right.
Are they both going?
Yep. Some really cool, looks like logo kind of mood board stickers here. And then a fancy...
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I forgot.
All this goes again. It's funny. It's good. It gets engagement. It rewards people for staying tuned.
Sometimes it goes right at the beginning.
All right, are we ready to rock and roll again? We're gonna be here all night if we keep doing this, babe. We gotta...
Welcome to YouTube. I'm a good vlogger. Hey Judy, I've never been this beautiful before with this kind of fantastic lighting.
I know. It doesn't mean you're beautiful, though.
The hell does he know, right? Don't listen to him.
I don't know. What? Oh, that's the button. There's a single button for what I'm trying